So if you push back here, you're gonna be far better off than you were in the game. Plus, now let's start to look at some of the good stuff. You have a little bit of a liberty problem, but if you resolve that liberty problem, this is not a linkage. You can nip these two stones off and take them back. And in addition to that, in fact, that by nipping these two stones off, then later on you have a squeeze attack against these, and you have more profit coming. You can't. You see, you get your Dama used up, so then he calls Atari here, and there's potentially a problem. But that's going to get resolved in through here, one way or another. I don't think that White is inclined to try and get anything done with these stones. He's got nowhere to run and no leverage. So I don't know what White intends to do here. What do you intend to do?
If he had Atari, I probably would just ignore and play somewhere else first. Like instead of extending, I would probably just play somewhere else first. Maybe actually my goal, I thought instead of Atari, he would push down, right there, and then push again, and then kill the song probably. But then since I have a Sente Atari there, I could maybe get the corner and Sente. That was the original plan. Yeah. So he was just taking a little probe at you. If you push back, he'll just walk away. He'll leave it like this, and then he'll plan to call it, be able to call Atari and Sente here, and then link up with use that Aji to get some kind of benefit for himself in the corner. Maybe if nothing else, he can get this extension to be Sente. That'd be something for him. Yeah. So he just was wanting to see what you did. If you push back at him, he'll turn tail and run. If you're so that's in terms of this area. You should be fighting back in this area because with this and with the stone here, you separate the stone off and he's got nothing to work with. But if you're going to concede, then just play Hane here. Tactically speaking, this exchange is 100% for white, 0% for black. Walking into Hane at the head of the two stones is never, well, there's no nevers in Go, but it's almost never a good idea. Just simply play the Hane and see what he does. I suppose par is for him to just back up here. Now you look like this, and you've made a little concession, but it's not the end of the world. If he wants to play here, he can't link his stones together. You know, he can threaten to walk into your area, but at the end of the day, he has to back off. He's cut. He can't make everything work. Yeah. Good. Okay.
I saw that one move too late up there.
Yeah, he left these alone. He's not. What's the best Yosei there?
Isn't it just to extend?
Here, huh?
Yes, right.
That looks about right. That's pretty big. So we're into Yosei here. What's is black winning this game?
The two stones then?
You don't.
Better than taking the two stones, extending.
Black doesn't take the two stones the way he played. He would have taken two stones.
Right, I know. I realized one move too late that I should have taken them. But so you're saying this is better? Oh, he can't connect anyway.
No, he's short of liberties. He can't connect.
Right.
And by playing this way, you force him to fill up his own liberties. For example, if he plays here, then this is Atari, and you have the follow-up profit. If he plays here, you just take these. But No, this Hane is forcing move, for example. In fact, this Hane and connect becomes forcing, I believe.
Yes.
Because then if he doesn't answer, you follow up with the strike here, and he's got to give you something. So by playing here, you don't have to make the capture, so you gain a point there. You maximize the reduction of his territory, and by filling the liberty, you create an after attack.
I think it's about a 6-point swing.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those two two black stones surrounded by white stones completely dead. It seems like one of them could try to run and damage some things.
In the center right?
You're talking about these two.
Yeah.
Oops, I don't mean that. These two. Yeah, they could run away.
Is that worthwhile at this point?
Why bother?
Okay.
Before running those stones out, I think I would nail down the capture of these two stones.
Uh-huh.
Just play this this Kosumi here. It's a nice move, a little unreasonable maybe. And even before that, I think that, let's see here.
Well, when-
Oh, that's big. Notwithstanding that this is big, I think maybe just you know, getting rid of any monkey business over here. But I think the game is resolved here. What was the score in this game?
It was black by 17.
Yeah, yeah. So there's really only Yosei value left. There's nothing of real importance here in this game. Basically, what do we have here? Black played solidly. Black took the power lead in the game. Whenever Black has a power lead, it gets really tough on white. This move was a little bit suspect. I'd like to see it played over here first. And this move definitely this is time to push back a little bit. Look at this position. There are a couple of factors about this position to keep in mind. White plays contact moves in order to develop. You don't really like white developing most of the time, but on the other hand, if you're developing well, it's okay. But in this particular case, white is playing a contact move in an area where he's already pretty strong. So if he develops a little bit more, who cares? And if you can hane and control that side for yourself, that's a big advantage. So this is an area where you have literally nothing to lose. And there's nothing to be afraid of here in terms of the crosscut. Worst case scenario, you just decide, oh man, I'm way in over my head, blah, blah, blah. And you give this stone up. Worst case scenario. In comparison with the way the game actually went, this portion of the side is already your territory as opposed to being wiped out in his territory. And he gets this stone, and he controls the extent to which you can have territory in the center. But he's been forced to take Gote, and now it's your turn to make a big move somewhere else. Worst case scenario, there's no damage here. You're better off than you were in the game.
If it comes to this, do you definitely want Tuatari on top at the previous diagram? Worst case scenario.
Right. Well, the
you
thing is, you know, I'm just putting a stone on here to kind of bring to life Black's.
Yeah, I mean, black
Nightmare, but
actually
in fact,
extend with the
why
hard stone
can't do
and was in
anything?
trouble.
You know, I mean, I'm just kind of putting this down to suggest that even if Black were to allow this stone to be captured, but the fact of the matter is, this stone can't be captured because Black can just extend here and White can't stop him. But even if this stone were captured, you know, in comparison with the game, you keep this territory for yourself, you get Sente for a corresponding value anywhere else, so there's just nothing here to be afraid of. Let's see, then, and then Black got over to here first. He got into this new area and put another stone out. So from the standpoint of playing a handicap game as Black, Black has played pretty well. It's very hard for White under these circumstances. A couple of places Black could have pushed back a little bit harder. But taking the power lead, building up the big area, forcing White to contend with you in the area where you have numerical superiority, even though White is tactically a far superior player, it's hard to play against that. So this was a good job by black. And from white's standpoint, there's really nothing much. You know, it's just a tough game. Even being successful here, when black takes center and gets the first move over here, I don't think white is really overjoyed with this outcome. So that from white's perspective, I think this is a game that white is probably going to lose anyway. But in any event, to play A and to control the size of this area at this time, I think is the big thing for white. And certainly, if you're going to challenge black, you have to go in at least as far as B. I know that B is extremely unreasonable, but then you know, you're not going to get anywhere in this game being reasonable.